deserves their vote to be counted, and they deserve to know whether or not these irregularities mean fraud. And we have to figure this out.
I don't know if these reports are true or accurate, but frankly, the widespread reporting of them is just too much to ignore. I think we've got an obligation to investigate, and investigate thoroughly and fully.
Nevada Republicans were in federal court today alleging thousands of people voted illegally, that they were not residents of the Silver State. Though a check of the voter list that was handed over to the county DA discovered more than 130 military members who may have been stationed elsewhere but were potentially still eligible to vote. Months ago, Nevada's governor drew fire from President Trump for sending out unsolicited ballots to every person on the state voter rolls. Here's what Matt Schlapp had to say about it earlier today.
They did this big mailing of their dirty list and put a bunch of ballots out there, and then they didn't allow the Trump campaign to be able to sit there along and watch these ballots to make sure that those people are actually registered to vote, that there's actually a signature match. Because they essentially locked everybody out of that process, it begs the question, why don't they want us in there to watch?
All right, so where is the Trump campaign at this point? They believe that they can hang on and win North Carolina. They also believe that as that gap continues to narrow in Arizona, that they will be able to eventually take that. They said that it's going to be tight, and it looks like it's going to be a razor-thin margin. There is a sense, though, that Georgia and Pennsylvania have slipped away, and the only way to try to get those back is through a recount or some other kind of legal action. But for now, President Trump remains in some pretty dire water, but Joe Biden is not yet, even though Nancy Pelosi says it, the president-elect. So we'll keep watching this.
John Roberts live in the North Lawn. John, thanks. We should point out that we have been to the decision desk about 50 times over the last couple of days, asking about Arizona, talking about what the Republicans are saying on the ground there. They are insistent that they are keeping with that call for Joe Biden that we made at 11:20 p.m. on election night, after roughly 80% of the vote in Arizona was in. But it has been narrowing as other tranches of that vote count have happened.
In the last tranche, it narrowed about 500 votes in Arizona. And then Pennsylvania has ticked up for Joe Biden by about 1,000 in the latest read. So obviously we're all watching these numbers very closely. Let's bring in our panel, talk to them about where we are tonight. Karl Rove, former Deputy Chief of Staff to President George W. Bush. Trey Gowdy, former House Oversight Committee Chairman. Both are Fox News contributors. And Juan Williams, Fox News political analyst and co-host of The Five. Gentlemen, great to have all of you with us tonight. It feels like we've all been sitting around at these desks for the past, well, I guess we have, right? For the past 3 days. And Karl, when you look at this and everybody watching Arizona, watching Nevada, watching Pennsylvania, where do you think we are at this point?
Well, we're close to the end, and if we would all just sort of take a breath and step back for a minute, by Monday or Tuesday, all of these ballots will have been counted, and there will be a chance for each of the campaigns to either seek a recount or to go after some elements of the ballots that have been counted, and particularly those that have been segregated in Pennsylvania, and have their say in court. But this is a moment where each campaign, if they have issues, need to come forward with the evidence and to file the suits, let it be adjudicated, file the complaints, let the complaints be examined. We have procedures in place in every one of these states, and we would be better, and frankly, not tonight. I hope it sounds like Vice President Biden is inclined to make a big statement tonight. I hope he doesn't, frankly. I think the country would be better served if we just let the process play out. It takes a little bit longer than in the past, but that's because so